Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. Uh, Today we're going to be handling how to record expenses, recurrent expenses majorly. Okay, now in QuickBooks, the first thing you have to do is to make sure you have a bank account. If you don't have any bank account, QuickBooks will not allow you to incur any kind of expenses. So let's check our chart of account. Click on company, go to chart of account or Control A. Okay, now you see I have First Bank of Nigeria. I have one bank account. So let's say we don't have an account here. So what we have to do is to click on Control N or new here from this end. Then you select bank. You can use petty cash as bank account, checking as bank. So it doesn't really mean it's a bank. Bank in QuickBooks reflect any form of money that you have for the business, whether in saving form, in checking or petty cash, or your cash till or your cash drawer. You understand? So any form you make use of bank alone. That is when you spend from. Okay, then you click on continue. Then once that is there, you now input the name of the bank. It might be petty cash. Remember I told you bank can mean anything, cash or cash in bank or cash at hand or the less. So I'll cancel that. I already have a bank account. So go back home, click home here, or you click on this right check on this window here, or click on banking, then click on right check. They will still take you to the same window. Okay, you can see we are seeing First Bank. At the beginning there is no bank at all. It will not allow you to even enter this page. It won't allow you, so you have to create. Now you can see I click on print letter. I can uncheck that so that I can input the name, the number, or I can just leave it like that. Okay, now pay to the order of. If you have a specific supplier or vendor you buy from, is preferable you select this, you incur these expenses on. It's preferable you select the vendor from this end. If you don't have them here, you can also click on add new. You see you selected vendor already, then you click on OK, then you input the information on about the vendor here. Okay, so I'm not using any vendor. Now once you selected that vendor, once you've selected the vendor here and you click on OK, then you check the address info. Any information you input here, it will also reflect on this place. So okay, now let's go to the expense we want to incur. Let's say printing and stationery. Okay, you see I have printing and stationery here as expenses as parent account. Then I created printing paper and binding paper under printing and stationery. Now why I did that is two options. You can either say, okay, I want to use printing and stationery for all my, I don't want to classify them, I don't want to know what I bought, I just want to have them under one account as printing and stationery. Then maybe under memo you will now identify the name of that particular expenses you incur that is under printing and stationery. Now, or you can decide that no, I want to have them classified so that I can identify them individually. So this is what you do. So but how did I do that? You click on add new, then as expenses I continue. Then under here I click on binding. I input binding paper or printing paper, okay, like this. Then I select sub account, then I click on printing and stationery here, then save and close. That is how I created that printing paper and binding paper. Now should in case you don't have printing and stationery before to make as a parent account, you can also create it here as a printing and stationery and stationaries. Then this time around it's not a sub account of anything. You are creating it as a parent account so that you will now make use of it later as a sub account, because if you do not create the account and you don't have it in your chart of account before, it's not going to reflect here as a sub account. So once you've created this printing and stationery account, first of all you save and close, then you come back and create those binding materials and binding paper, printing paper, notebooks, pen, pencils, stapler, there are many kind of printing and stationery. So if you want to have them individually, you do that and create them as sub account. Now I will suggest you have a supplier you are buying them from, so that you can actually check you can actually compare prices. You understand? So if you have a supplier A or vendor A that you are buying stapler from, and maybe the stapler is 1.5, then definitely it might be 1.4 or 1.6 from the other vendor B or supplier B. So this will enable you to easily track how much you buy these things from, so in case you want to now buy later, and also even assist you in creating your budget and forecast. Okay, now I've created them already, so I want to go with printing paper. So I select printing paper. How much? Let's say 8,000. Okay, I can now decide to input the supplier, the producer of this printing paper. I can put any other, maybe let's say Black Lash. Okay, I can just have it like this. Black Lash company, that is the producer of this printing paper, but I bought it from a particular vendor. So all these things are important to track my transaction with the vendor. So I can decide that, okay, now very important, if you select a vendor here, it means any expenses you are writing down here are those expenses you incur in respect to those vendor. You understand? So that will be able to assist you to track those expenses. But if you are not buying them from a particular vendor, you want to have them here, once you want to list them down here, then you don't select any vendor, because you cannot select two vendor at the same time here now. So this is how you, then since you don't have any vendor, you can list down those expenses you incur, fueling, any of them. You can mention those expenses, or you come to chart of accounts. Most of them are already available as expenses under chart of account. You can see auto and truck expenses, advertising, promotion, cardboard, sellotape, diesel, float, fuel, gate pass, etc. Okay, now let's go back. You click on open window to take you back to the former place you are. So let's say we want to incur okay, for binding paper. So now I also have that as 5,000. Now I can input the also any memo, any information I need to use to track this particular expenses. Okay, now you see we have 13,000 in total. Now once I save, this 350,000 is going to reduce by 13,000. It means you need a bank account. So even if the bank account is zero, after creating it, you can also create a transaction, maybe a service you incur, a service you offered, or receive or make a deposit, so that you have a value there. But should in case you don't have any value, maybe after creating it you only have a zero balance, you can still go ahead and incur your expenses, just that QuickBooks will put a negative figure for you. So then maybe later you can now go ahead and enter that deposit or any transaction that will make sure you have money in your bank account. Now this bank account, mind you, should be for the business. It might not be your private bank account, or even though you incur from your private bank account, you can push it down to the company account and create the company account here and carry out those expenses from the company account. Okay, now save and close. So once I save and close, we now go to our report to see how this transaction has been recorded. So let's go to company and financial under report, then go to profit and loss to see what we just did. Now you can see we've incurred expenses 13,000. Okay, now that has been recorded perfectly. You can double click on printing paper and it will show you the history or the trail of the transaction, or the memo and the likes of that particular transaction. Okay, you can exit this. Okay, now we'll go to balance sheet to see the equivalent posting. You can see our First Bank of Nigeria has reduced to 337. You can also double click to see what happened. You see, formerly it was 350,000. Because of this 13,000 expenses we incurred, it has reduced to 337,000 naira. So with this, you see that we've successfully recorded expenses. Okay, I hope you guys understand. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my videos, turn on your notifications so that you get notified of any new video I'm making. And see you guys in next class, and bye.